Well, it was in my childhood days. Oh, Lord, many long years ago. Now with the Spirit, now of my Savior, I was filled, Lord, filled, oh, fascinating, oh, Lord, I'm married, they legacy in that little, oh, that wooden church out on a hill. You know every Sunday morning, the family prayer, then to that old country wagon, all would feel, oh Lord, all would feel, well, we go on our journey, moving over rock, God knows it. That little, oh, that one church out on a hill. Well, when that old-fashioned preacher, oh, Lord, give out the meter, then every heart breaks now with the Holy Ghost. Oh, would feel, oh Lord, oh, would feel. Well, people, they would be shouting, praise my God, I hear them in that little, oh, that one church house out on a hill. In that little, oh, that one church house out on a hill.
Your feet, I lay the burdens of generations before me, and I cry the tears that couldn't find their way through. I lay the burdens of generations before me. Eyes that were robbed of the blessing of recognizing themselves in another and themselves in you. And oh, the burdens of living under illusions of separation. So may we find in this life this time affects one directly, affects us all indirectly. your feet, I lay the burdens of generations before me. And I cry the tears that couldn't find their way through. Eyes that were robbed of the blessing of recognizing themselves in another, themselves, you. Though the burdens of living, the illusions of separation, so may we find in this life this time that injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere.
feel like I've already gotten my money's worth for the show. What a great introductory. Wow, I feel like money's worth for the show. Hi, my name is Karen Reid, and I am the co-president for the board of the ACL. And I'd like to welcome everybody this evening to our annual ACL celebration. So thank you for joining us. Sit back, relax. We have a lovely show, some entertainment, some business, and some great prizes as well. One little housekeeping tip is if you want to use your chat button and have a question for any of us, we do have some ACL team members taking those questions, and we'll get you some answers. So first, I'd like to share with you the order of events for this evening. So our agenda this evening is going to start out with Benjamin. He is going to share with us some jokes. He's a really great guy. We've got some prizes to give away tonight. Then we're going to move into the candidates for this evening. We're going to give you an update on our brand new office. And then you're going to get to meet some more candidates. After that, Benjamin will come back and entertain us with his ukulele. We've got Elsa, who's going to share with us, our executive director, the happenings of the ACL this year. We've got some more prizes, and then we're going to share the election results. And finally, wrapping up, Lori Dameron is going to sing for us. She's a great partner for the ACL. And we'll, at the very, very end, we will have one more final prize to give away. So stick around. So let's start out with Benjamin. Let me tell you a little bit about Benjamin. Benjamin is a great entertainer. He's a young man with autism. Benjamin is a great supporter and key performer for our At Home with the ACL. It's an evening program on the third Tuesday of every month, and you can come see Benjamin and Lori both on those evenings. Benjamin is an award-winning public speaker. He's a musician, an actor, and a prize-winning author. He's a multi-talented guy. Benjamin loves performing, singing, playing the ukulele. And we're going to be starting off on the lighter side and let Benjamin share some jokes with us. So take it away, Benjamin.
Hello, everyone. It's so great to be here this evening. I love it. So I'm so excited to, first of all, as she said, share a couple of jokes and one riddle with you all. So there is a man who owns a cat. And there's an accident where the cat loses his tail in a slamming door. So the man takes both the cat and his severed tail into his car and rushes him immediately to the nearest Walmart store. Now, do you know why he goes to Walmart specifically? Anybody? Because Walmart is the largest retailer in the nation. Da-dum-bum. So the other day, a Mexican magician was performing some magic, or a magic trick. He said, "Uno, dos," and disappeared without a trace. How much money does a pirate pay for an ear of corn? Anybody? A buccaneer, or rather a buck in ear. I'm trying to think here. What lies at the bottom of the ocean and worries? Anybody? A nervous wreck. So those are the 4 jokes for this evening. Here is a fun riddle. The beginning of eternity, the end of time and space, the beginning of every end, and the end of every place. What am I? You ready for me to give the answer? The letter E. The beginning of eternity, the end of time and space, the beginning of every end, the end of every place. Get it? All right. So on to the next person, just bringing up the agenda. All right. So it is my it's my pleasure to now hand it over to Mark, who will do the prize draw now. All right, so take it away, Mark.
Thanks, Benjamin. I don't know how I can follow that performance. One of the difficulties I imagine as a comedian is not having an audience who you can receive that feedback from. But as Elsa indicated, and also know that Lindsay Anderson indicated, you were very funny. I was laughing. In fact, I actually wrote those down because I am going to share them with my family and my coworkers tomorrow. So great job. Thank you very much. We'll hear more from Benjamin in a little bit. But first, I get the opportunity of our first drawing. And we have coming up a picture of the basket. It's a Somewhere Over the Rainbow basket. There's a snuggle blanket in it, puzzle, colored gel pens, rainbow LED lights. Those are really cool. True to Your Heart, bag clips, jelly beans, and I can't see anything else but listed, but you can see all those yummy things. And our first winner of tonight's, and this is our second annual prize drawing event. Our winner tonight for this basket is Don Pulowski. So congratulations, Don, and happy decorating your home for the holidays. These are very much holiday colors. So we have 2 more drawings that'll be coming up later on in the show. But right now, it's my honor to introduce to you, well, Karen, who you've already met. Karen is with me. I'm also the co-president of the ACL Board of Directors. Working with Karen, I've had a wonderful opportunity and experience working with Karen over the last year. Karen is also up for re-election. And so she now is going to talk a little bit why she wants your vote and she wants to stay serving in this wonderful capacity on the board of directors. Karen, I will turn the time over to you.
Well, hi, everyone, again. So I am recommitting to the board. I've been on the board for 3 years. The ACL, I have learned over the last 3 years, is this amazing, small but mighty group of individuals that work together as one, and they get a lot done. The reason I want to recommit is because I truly feel we are on the cusp of taking the ACL yet to another level, to expanding our reach, to expanding those that we touch and we help, and really amplifying the voice for the IDD community. You know, I've just seen so much. I've just finally got my arms around all the amazing things that the ACL does. So I would hate to move on when I'm just really feel like I'm getting started. I think there's a lot of growth for future succession plans, planning out how we're going to reach more people and how we're going to work together with other organizations to continue to amplify our voice. So it is for that reason, as well as the reason that I've got an 18-year-old, soon to be 19-year-old daughter on the spectrum. And so my heart really falls into this board, and it's a really lovely fit. And I have a lot of passion for the work that they do and the work that we're going to do over the next 3 years. So I am going to turn this over to Mario, I think. I hope.
Yep. that sounds right. Sorry, little technical difficulty. I hope you can see me. So yeah, my name is Mario Sanchez. I've also been on the board for 3 years, and I'm hoping to continue for another 3 years. I live in Longmont. I lived here for a little over 15 years. I was a transplant before that, but don't hold that against me. I first learned of the ACL when my sister was relocating from out of state, and she needed some advocacy really to help with continuity of some of the vital services that she needs on a day-to-day basis. And that was really eye-opening for me. It was my first experience in the system in Colorado, even though I have experience with the systems of supports outside of state, and primarily in the East Coast. I think the areas that I'm most interested in and really have the most lived experience are around people who need intensive supports like comprehensive supports and medical supports, also around aging, including aging families and natural caregivers, and the transitions that occur later in life, and also immigrant communities and people who have English as a second language. I really hope to continue working with ACL and working on the board. I think that what we do here is really to support Elsa and the staff and everything they do. That's all we're here for. And I really hope to have an opportunity to continue doing that for at minimum another 3 years. I think Jesse's next, so that's all I had, and I'll turn it over to Jesse.
Thanks, Mario. My name is Jesse, and I would love to be on the board of directors. I've worked with kids with special needs. I'm also a self-advocate, and I encourage others to speak up for what they want or need. And I believe in the universal design and that everybody is equal, and I would love to help make a difference one heart at a time on the ACL board. Up next is Robert.
Hi, my name is Robert Henderson. I have been a board member of the ACL board for 3 years. I am also a member of Self-Advocacy Become Empowered in Boulder and Broomfield counties. I want to stay on the board to help other people in the ACL. I have lived and worked in Colorado all my life and have volunteered with Boulder and Broomfield SAB since it started in 2008. I am SABE president, and the group is working on changing the DD system so it works better for people. I live with my wife Linda and our dog Bronco in Longmont. And now I'd like to introduce Karen, the next candidate.
Hello again. I am actually going to take you through our new building at 624 Kaufman Street over in Longmont. We purchased this building back in August 2019, and that was BC, before COVID. But we've had a lot of opportunities since purchasing the property, though we're not physically in there all the time. We've had a lot of time to get the HVAC system working, the design, the construction, and really do a lot of work to the interior. So we're going to give you a quick glimpse into what it looks like now. And we're also going to show you a bit of a vision of what we really have for it to look like down the road. So this is the main room that when you walk in, where that desk is, that is what you see, this big, nice room. And our goal is to really move this into a lovely place that's really usable for everyone, a place for people to sit individually and do some work, a place where people can have some quiet meetings if you notice the booths in the back, some nice comfy couches for meetings if there's no personal information. In that back room, that glass room you see back there is yet another conference room for some more private conversations. So this is our vision. This is not where we are just yet. This is a look from the other side of the room, the same room. And as you can see, our architects, obviously we are an inclusive group and we have a ramp that makes the building accessible. We have an outdoor ramp and an indoor ramp that helps you get upstairs. You also have the stairs over to the right. So you can see the room from the other side, a place for people to hang out at this bar and look outside at the greenery and the blue skies of Colorado. This room is our conference room. This is our all-purpose room. Our plan for this room, there's really multi purposes of this room. One of the big goals for the ACL is to increase our training, whether it's training of the police officers, whether it's training for people in education, whether it's training for parents, education meetings. Obviously, the board looks forward and the team looks forward to using this for our board meetings. And I'd like to say our next annual meeting will hopefully be held in this room as well as some parties. So this really is a room that will get a lot of use, multi-purpose once again, with a lot of flexibility. Our final space is our outdoor deck. It's quite lovely that we have some outdoor space. Not only do we have a deck, but we have some what will soon be grass in the foreground. So we'll have the opportunity, maybe if COVID is still around, we can have an outdoor party if we're ready for that. But a lovely place again to meet with people, a lovely space to just be outside and get some fresh air. So we're really putting some effort this year into the vision of making these pictures a reality. And we're very, very excited about it. We've done a lot of hard work. And of course, our staff is excited for our lunchroom. We've got a full kitchen intact. We've got a place to chill the beers back there. And we hope to really transform this room. Again, it can be a workspace and it can be a place for people to get together and gather as well. So again, we're looking forward to utilize our space in a way that works for everybody. So that is 624 Kaufman. We're very excited about the progress that we've made and about the progress that we're going to make in 2022. So now we're going to return back to our candidates. We have 4 more candidates that we'd like to introduce to you, and I'm going to pass this over to Diane. Take it away, Diane.
Can you hear me? I think I clicked the wrong thing and kind of lost the main Zoom. So I'm Diane Malone. A big thank you to Mary, Cinda, and Julie for introducing me to the ACL Board opportunity and organization. By way of background, I was born and raised in Iowa, and I migrated to the East Coast and spent about 20 plus years in the Washington, D.C. metro area. After my daughter graduated from high school, we were doing university tours and landed in Fort Collins to tour CSU. And that was a big reminder to me that Colorado was still on my short list of places to live. So after I settled her in at CSU in Fort Collins in 2007, a year later, I moved to Boulder County, and now I reside in Lafayette. I've spent the last 11 years working for Boulder County on a number of initiatives related to technology, elections, policy. I worked on the 2013 flood recovery team, and most recently on the pandemic response and recovery, including coordination of federal CARES and ARPA funding programs. As far as my interest in the ACL, as a client resource support person with Imagine for a couple of years, and through a couple of other personal relationships, I've really experienced the challenges associated with knowing about and navigating community resources, specific programs, funding, affordable housing, and job opportunities. ACL offers me that opportunity to continue advocacy. As far as what I can offer, I kind of think of myself as an energetic campaigner. I offer arms and legs to help support the board and staff with their strategic plan execution, to engage in promotions and information sharing, and to facilitate connections with funding opportunities and programs with local governments, nonprofits, and other community partners. So thank you again for this opportunity to work with this wonderful organization. And I will next pass the microphone to Elena.
Hello, everyone. My name is Elena Seravino. I am a Boulder native, and I'm very thankful for the opportunity to be here and very honored to be considered for a member of the board of directors for the ACL. I currently reside in Lafayette. I guess Diane and I are neighbors. I live with my wonderful Shiba Kobe and my very rambunctious cat, Oliver. I love Colorado. I love the mountains. I spend a lot of time outside hiking and being with friends and family. I also enjoy painting and baking, but if it's a beautiful day or even cold and snowy, you can find me outside. If I'm not outside, I might be inside doing schoolwork. I'm currently going back to school for my master's in organizational leadership through CU Boulder. My day job is I oversee a contract for the federal government for the Office of Head Start. Head Start is free preschool and support for kids ages 0 to 5, also supports for their family. So I love the work and I love being around the kids and advocating in that way. I have a lot of experience in my personal life and my past work experience in advocacy work and working and serving the community. And I feel that a thriving community that prioritizes access and inclusion is essential. And I highly respect the ACL's values of people first, equity, community, self-determination, and diversity. And I would love nothing more than to be able to advocate and support and be part of a group of people who are working towards a community that thrives and has those values at the foundation. So I really thank everybody once again for the opportunity. And I would like to now take the time to introduce the next candidate, Lindsay.
Thank you, Elena. I serve on the ACL board and am seeking re-election in order to help people. I want to help grow an important and unique community, one that makes the world a better place, a community based in empathy, understanding, compassion, and love. I want to stand up not just for my community, but with them. Being a person with disabilities myself, my individual, nuanced experience is an important viewpoint that adds to the board's diversity. I try to use my training as a poet to best speak out in a way that is concrete and honest. The inclusion of my story helps fulfill part of the ACL's mission of meaningful representation of a population whose history has been largely marked by marginalization. My connections with other board members expand my own understanding of the spectrum of others' experience, which is essential to my value and enrichment as a board member and as a person. And now it is my pleasure to introduce a new board candidate up for election, Terry. Take it away, Terry.
Hi, everyone. My name is Terry Reindell. I'm very, very new to ACL, and I'm very happy to be here. I've only known about ACL for probably 2 to 3 months now. I was referred to ACL by my daughter's caseworker. I was feeling isolated, and I had no one to talk to or bounce ideas off of about what's best for my daughter and getting resources for her. I felt isolated and pretty alone. And then all of a sudden I was introduced to ACL and found a parents group, advocates, people to talk to, resources, ideas. And I went from feeling isolated to feeling empowered and very hopeful. And from moving from that isolated position to being hopeful and not knowing that it was so available has compelled me to want to be here on the board so that other people and families that need advocacy or voice or ideas also can have the experience that I've had in such a short time. So I'm stepping up to be on the board so that I can learn more about the greater IDD community and what it needs. And hopefully, between my background in the corporate world and my education in organizational development, I can actually bring some skills and abilities to do some good for somebody, somewhere out there. So I want to thank you for having me and all the support. And I hope that this year and the years to come, I can do some good for this organization and the people it serves. So thank you. Now it's my pleasure to bring back our resident musician, Benjamin. Benjamin, the show is yours.
Benjamin, are you ready to come? Modern technology. You can't live with it and you can't live without it. I believe he's on his way. Benjamin, I cannot play the ukulele, so it would not be a good thing for me to take that role.
If you've ever gone to a concert, Karen, you know that any good musician will leave the audience waiting to build up the excitement. I'm sure that's what Benjamin is doing right now.
Probably working on his ukulele strings. Or maybe he's flying in that plane that he went in a few weeks ago.
He's going to parachute on stage.
Well, I am thinking maybe we can let Elsa go and we'll catch up with Benjamin. So Elsa, if you're ready, we can turn the show over to you, our executive director. The ACL wouldn't be where it is without her. She is a rock. She's an amazing woman. And I'd like to introduce Elsa, our executive director.
Hi, everybody, and thanks, Karen and Benjamin. We're switching places. I will remind me to announce you and we'll just switch our order. So as Karen said, I'm Elsa Wanacott and I'm the executive director of the ACL. And usually I'm so nervous about these things that I forget to even say who I am, hence my first sticky note. So, you know, I'm kind of here to tell the story of the ACL in 2021. And like every year, it begins and ends with our vision and mission. And I'm going to share some of our progress in this past year. And, you know, in thinking about our vision and mission, you know, this is some work that the board and staff did together a couple of years ago. We reworked our vision, we reworked our mission, and we brought ourselves into what we thought was the 21st century. And then COVID hit. And notwithstanding the pandemic, we made a lot of progress, and I'm going to share some of that today. So our work is about building inclusive communities, and our goal is to enhance the lives of people with intellectual and developmental disabilities. And we have many ways we do that, but advocacy training and support is how we generally think about the work that we do. And in writing the story of this past year, I talked to as many people as possible who'd been part of it. So the staff and the board and many of the people that we serve. And when I spoke to SABE, what I heard was very loud and clear was their mantra, which is teamwork makes the dream work. And then as they began to talk about why they thought that they'd survived and why SABE was so important to them, they used words like adaptable, resilient. They talked about coming together at SAB as being a source of positive energy, and that together they were able to take action because of this resource of SABE. And they realized that, you know, when we work together, we are wiser and we are more efficient and we make more progress against our mission. And as I thought about these things, I realized that these are really themes of the ACL, that the ACL is adaptable and resilient, that when we come together and work on our mission, we're a source of positive energy and it drives us to take action. And I want to start by acknowledging and thanking the ACL board for the governance and for really moving the ACL forward. We have learned to think and plan together through our committees, which blend board and staff expertise and commitment, and through reaching out to our larger community. This year, the board have created a board evaluation. They have overseen the construction of 624 Kaufman Street. They have created and are working on the ACL Community Grants Project, which I'll tell you more about later. And together with the team, we created At Home, which is a monthly, I like to think of it as a variety show. And Benjamin and our performer later in the show, Laurie Dameron, are absolutely the pillars of At Home. It's the third Tuesday every month. It's on the ACL calendar, and it's a lot of fun. So while I'm talking about a lot of fun, the other thing that's important at the ACL is our finances, because we have to fuel our mission. So the story of the last 18 months, it heavily involves the ARC thrift stores. At the beginning of the pandemic, the ARC thrift stores were forced to close. They were able to advocate for themselves as an essential business. They reopened their stores safely. They have not only increased the funding that they give to the chapters in Colorado, but they've also launched a multi-state relief effort serving Native peoples communities in several states surrounding Colorado. The other success this year was the COVID relief funds, and they literally were a relief. As the ARC thrift stores shut down, our funding from ARC thrift stores was cut immediately by 25%, and they are our main source of funding. We were very successful in raising relief funds, both local and federal dollars through the Payroll Protection Program. And we were able to weather the storm financially. And we are a financially solid organization. I want to also talk about the assets that the ACL has, which fall into three categories for me. Our greatest asset is our people. Our other asset is the property that ACL owns at 624 Kaufman Street. And of course, we hold assets in portfolios for the long-term sustainability of the organization. Some of our work next year will involve obviously building on the progress that we've made financially in the last year and what we've learned through weathering this storm. So operations, or as I like to think of it, keeping the lights on. And for this, I have to thank many people, but I do want to call out the ACL management team. We came into this year with a lot of work still to do on the construction project. And, you know, with an all hands on deck approach, we've managed to pursue this project almost to completion while still pursuing our mission and doing the advocacy that we're known for. We've also become adept at remote working. We were meeting people where they were, meant a lot of time spent in cars driving around, and we have learned to provide successful, effective advocacy remotely. Obviously, there are times when remote advocacy cannot make the change that we need, and we do address crisis situations through some in-person work. But as we think about launching into the future and you know, bringing everybody with us, we made a commitment early on in terms of technology that we would cross the digital divide with the people that we served. And that led to making sure people had devices, training people to use Zoom, problem solving, and still problem solving with people around technology to avoid one of the greatest denials of community, which is denial of the online community. It's not assistive technology. This is how we do community these days. And speaking of community, one of the places that the ACL board and staff have really come together really well is around community outreach. We're all members of this community and we all communicate very closely with each other. But COVID created chaos and isolation for people with intellectual and developmental disabilities, their families, and the people who work with them. And we have had to partner for change with organizations who are making a commitment to inclusion and really struggling with what that would look like. We have members of our team who go out and train organizations to be more inclusive. It's not good enough to push on the system and require it to change. We need to partner and show it how. Another way that we show the community how to change is the ACL has 3 Boulder County trained cultural brokers. They're people who speak several languages and are members of several different cultures. And they bridge the gaps that still exist around the many different cultures that we serve. And then the other thing that we're very proud of in terms of our community outreach is the way in which we've connected our individual advocacy with our community outreach work, so that one person at a time, we're able to bridge the gap and forge a connection between people and their community, even if right now that means that most of this is online. And one of the things that we found is that in connecting people with each other, that they're able to actually provide mutual support, that ACL is not the only source of support, that support can be found within your community and that we will help you create that community. The other thing that we're very proud of is our training program. It has evolved from the individual systems and policy advocacy that we do. And it's a new and expanding way to create change, one professional heart at a time, because a lot of our work is training professionals so that they are culturally working in a culturally appropriate way with people with intellectual and developmental disabilities. And in 2021, for the first time, ACL provided a fee-based training for professionals. And new sources of revenue like this are a part of our future. But the changing hearts has already started and it's continuing. And moving on to the next slide. The ACL is a whole team, and I mean that in several ways. as we look around and we watch what's happened with other organizations, we see that they are losing their team members. ACL has not lost a single team member during COVID. We've remained intact and supportive of each other. And I really want to just thank the ACL team for holding steady through the most difficult of times. And not just holding steady, but you have advocated for people to be prioritized for treatment under COVID conditions. You've advocated for people to be prioritized for vaccines. You created and ran COVID vaccine clinics in partnership with Boulder County Public Health and Imagine. You created all the materials to make that chaotic Boulder County Fairground process doable for people who had not left their home in some cases for many months. And it took the whole team to do that. The other thing that the team has been working on is networking and support groups. We already had some of these groups going and many of them were in person. And not only have we continued those support groups, but we've expanded. The parent network work groups have expanded, our writing groups have expanded, our self-advocacy groups have expanded, our social and fun stuff like at home has expanded. And at the same time, it's the same number of people that have expanded their capabilities in order to do this. The other place where the team has made enormous inroads is in creating a safety net and some crisis support for people with intellectual and developmental disabilities. It's tragic when people fall through the safety net because it's meant to be there for everybody, but it wasn't there for people with intellectual and developmental disabilities. But through a partnership with Boulder County, we were able to advocate for a crisis support person, a position at Imagine, as well as the creation of the, let me think if I can get this, the IDD-EFRT, which stands for Intellectual Developmental Disabilities Emergency Funding Review Team. This is a team of people, including the ACL, Imagine in the county, who can problem solve around crisis and can also access some of the DD mill levy funds to help people out of a crisis situation. And we definitely want to thank our partners at Boulder County for partnering with us and hearing us when we went to them with this crisis. The other place that we've seen some major inroads with the work that the team have done is in the justice system. There is a disproportionate number of people with intellectual and developmental disabilities who have been incarcerated. The reasons for this are very complicated, but we have been able to make a great deal of progress in helping people resettle in the community. This used to be difficult work. Just bringing our partners to the table to have the conversations was difficult. But we're pleased to say that now we do not need to be in the middle of the problem solving for everybody who's seeking a way out of jail, that the jail system and the community support system are now directly in communication. They reach out to us when they need assistance, but they are now a closed loop that does not require intensive advocacy in order to create justice in the lives of people with IDD. The other place where we're really pleased to have seen a lot of progress is system accountability and accessibility and responsiveness. Until very recently, we heard that it was very difficult for people to access the intellectual developmental disability system, that when they did, it wasn't very responsive to their needs, and that when things went wrong, there was no accountability. And nobody was held responsible for some of the trouble this created in the lives of the people being served. But we have been able to bring the system to greater levels of accountability through close collaboration with the state of Colorado. We've been able to improve accessibility through close collaboration with the county and Imagine. And we've been able to improve responsiveness through partnering with many community agencies. Our work isn't done here because the system is still in crisis with a workforce, a lack of workforce and some real structural problems that we are continuing to partner with imagine the county and state systems in order to resolve. And I just want to again thank the whole team, because without you, there is no mission. So I've told you a little bit about what we've done, which is the past. And the past is always with us. And you know, because we do live and breathe and we co-create based on what was passed to us by the people who went before. So in 2022, we need to keep building. We need to keep building on the ACL's assets by planning for the future. And planning for the future is a lot about the people. We need to work on board and staff succession. We have a very experienced and expert staff, and eventually some of us will retire. We have a fabulous board, but they're term limited. So we need to think about the future in terms of the next 10 to 20 years. And that's work that we're going to start doing next year. We need to celebrate 624 with a grand opening. And our hope is that we can do that next year, assuming it's safe. And if we need to have a garden party in the backyard, then that's what we will do. The other thing that we're going to build on next year is a project that we have begun to create this year, which is called the ACL Community Grants Project. It's led by board member Lindsay Anderson, who is standing for re-election. And Community Grants Project is an evolution of the gift of community. And the gift of community was a grants project that we have had for at least the last 10 years. And it was established in honor of Erin Arsenault and Johanna, or Jodie Arnold, as we came to know her. The grants were administered to people who had a great idea about community inclusion and needed some funds to get things going. And they also were accessed by organizations like Tapestry Theatre, who were trying to make sure that everybody could access their theatre program through scholarships. And in 2021, we added to the community grants project we received $25,000 from the Arc Thrift Store in honor of Terry Leica. And we've established the Terry Leica Memorial Fund. And we've added that to the list of funds that we are administering in order to contribute to our community grants project. We're also very honored to embark on a partnership with the Longmont Community Foundation, who through a very generous donation established the St. Vrain Independent Living Fund. ACL and Longmont Community Foundation will be overseeing that project together with the ACL Community Grants team, really approving and getting kind of down into the stories of the people who apply for funds. So the great news is that we are officially opening and launching applications on the 1st of January. And it will be open to anybody in Boulder and Broomfield counties with an intellectual and developmental disabilities. It will provide funds to help kickstart an idea, help move somebody towards a greater level of independence, help people experience something that they might not otherwise experience. We're going to share more information later in the year. We will be able to have people apply directly from the website. But this is a way that we bring everybody who's been with us in the past into the future as we step forward. And one of the things that we need to step forward to is a deeper understanding of something that we call JEDI at the ACL, which for anybody who's a Star Wars fan, just kind of it resonated with me. But it stands for justice, equity, diversity, and inclusion. And we have to understand deepen our understanding, because as a human rights organization, we focused on a single issue of intellectual and developmental disability. But we've become very much aware of the intersectionality. And I'm going to read the quote on this slide because it's very powerful. There is no such thing as a single issue struggle. because we do not have single issue lives. And that's a quote by Audre Lorde. And what we need to become aware of is the intersections. There are many, many intersections of power that are at play in our lives. And this isn't an exhaustive list. It's not possible to list all the different ways that people experience oppression. But these are things that point to our future. These are things that we need to carry forward along with our deep understanding of intellectual and developmental disability is a greater understanding of other things that are part of the human condition. So the best way to showcase the work that the ACL does, and I hope that I am on cue here, is by showing you a video that we originally aired in 2019, but it's as true today as it was back then. And this is our work. Roll video, Caitlin.
If you have a disability, you are 3 times more likely to be bullied in school.
4 times more likely to be a victim of sexual violence.
Twice as likely to be suspended from school.
3 times more likely to be a victim of crime.
And more likely to be incarcerated.
How can this be? How can this be?
How can this be? How can this be?
How can this be?
How do we change it? Belonging is everything. It holds us up through adversity and makes us bold. Join us on our journey to connect communities, speak up for human rights, challenge systems, influence policy, and embrace diversity. Everything we do is advocacy. Come along and join us.
Wow, thank you, Caitlin, for running that video. And just so you know, the voice actors are listed at the end. Those are the names of many of the ACL team. Next up is the exciting moment where we draw the second prize draw. So hang on a minute while I draw the name. And our winner is Sharon Anderson. And let's have a look at what Sharon's going to win, Caitlin. Ooh, she is winning the 12 Days of Quizmas Smart Ass Puzzle combo. It looks like we will be getting that to you in the next couple of weeks, Sharon. So enjoy. And if you need anybody over to play Uno, let me know. And next up, I'd like to introduce Benjamin. We switched our order up a little bit. So Benjamin, I'm so glad that you are playing the ukulele and not me. And Benjamin, I think next up after you, we're going back to Mark for election results.
All right. Oh, all right. So yes, Elsa was right. I had to tune and work on my ukulele a little bit, but that's okay. So let me just adjust my camera a little bit so you have the best possible view of me. Yeah, I know this. Let me turn off this light and see. All right, I think I'll have to make do. So everyone, I am delighted to sing for you this song. Well, first of all, I should say that Hawaiian music is one of my favorite genres of music, like traditional Hawaiian. And I grew to love Hawaiian music because partly through our visits to Hawaii, because my dad's side of the family lives on the island of Oahu. And I mean, it just really spoke to my very soul. And over time, I've collected more Hawaiian music recordings and just gotten more and more inspired. And it was a few years ago that I got myself this gorgeous koaloha. I'll try this gorgeous koaloha ukulele, which was imported here from Hawaii. It's made of genuine wood from the koa trees of Hawaii, and it just has such an amazing sound quality to it. It's like professional grade. But anyway, the song I'm about to sing for you all is called Blue Hawaii, and it's actually a love song, which I trying to think here, which is very simple and beautiful, and I hope you enjoy it. And yeah, I'm sorry I can't get a better view of my whole self and the ukulele, but I guess I'll have to make do. And blue Hawaii, the night is heavenly, and you are heaven to me. Lovely you and blue Hawaii, with all this loveliness, there should be love. Come with me while the moon is on the sea. The night is young, and so are we, so are we. Dreams come true in blue Hawaii, and mine could so are we. Dreams come true in blue Hawaii, and mine could all come true this magic night of nights with you. Dreams come true in blue Hawaii, and mine could all come true this magic night of nights with you. Thank you.
That was fabulous, Benjamin.
Thank you, Elsa.
I think it could be my passion, or my long ago passion for Elvis Presley, but that brought back a feeling of warmth and swaying palm trees.
Oh, thank you. Well, and actually this song is originally by Elvis.
I knew it. Benjamin, do you have another number for us?
Oh, well, I might be able to pull one right out of my head.
Well, I wasn't sure if you'd planned one.
I didn't originally plan one, but let me see if I have another one here in my.
I loved the Owl City that you performed. That was fabulous.
Thank you. Oh, take on me. You could just give me one moment. I might be able to. I think I can perform the "Take on Me" song. I just have a lot of. Don't want to hold you up, but when can I see you again?
Benjamin, what do you think if Mark announced the election results and then we come back to you?
Oh, that would be just wonderful.
Give you a minute to find the music.
Okay, so how many minutes should I plan on at this point? I mean,
well, Mark is going to it'll just take him 2 minutes to announce the election results.
Great deal. All right.
All right, over to you, Mark.
All right. The evening is drawing to an end, and we've been richly blessed and fed by being here tonight. You know, I'm thrilled by the caliber of not only the board members who are up for re-election, but those new ones who are coming on. I'm so excited for the upcoming year. I've been on the board, I think, for 4 years now, and probably what I enjoy most about the board is that I work with people who are passionate, who are dedicated, and who deeply care about humanity. And as Mario indicated earlier, we're here to support the ACL. And the ACL, likewise, is composed of people and team members who also care about humanity. These are people, the board members in the ACL, they walk the walk. They don't only talk about advocacy, but they understand advocacy because they live it. They have family members or themselves who struggle. And it's just a pleasure to work with an organization that gets it, that really understands and matters to everybody. This is an organization and the board supports the right to everybody, regardless of abilities, to be a part, not only to be a part of, but to feel a part of the community. And so it's a real pleasure for me to be on the board. I'm looking forward to, I've got 2 more years on my term, and I'm looking forward to working with all the new and old board members again in this wonderful organization. So here's the time we've all been waiting for. Unlike other elections, I'm not going to say that the results are too close to call, because they're not. We didn't have to worry about using Price Waterhouse, but here are the results. Drum roll, please. And we should be having a celebration. Here we go. And here we are. The 22 board members are, we have Robert Anderson, we have Diane Malone, we have Mario Sanchez, we have Elena Seravino, Jesse Irvin. Your stars, all of you. We have Lindsay Anderson, Terry Reindell, and Karen Zeid. Congratulations and welcome to the board of 2022. And now it's my great pleasure to introduce to us all. Well, no, I thought we were going to go back to, before Lori, let's go back to Benjamin. I think he has one more song he's going to play for us. Benjamin, are you ready? All right, so go ahead, Benjamin, and then after that, I'll come back on.
All right, so now I'm gonna play a pop song for you all called "Take on Me" by the artist Aha. Just getting ready. We're talking away. Well, I don't know what I'm to say. I'll say it anyway. Today's another day to find you shying away. Becoming for your love, okay. Take on me, take on me, take me on, take on me, be gone, so needless to say, I'm on the next, but I'll be stumbling away, slowly learning that life is okay, say after me, it's no better to be safe than sorry. Take on me, take on me, take me on, take on me, be gone, in a day that you say, now is it life or just to play my worries away? For all the things I got to remember, you're shying away. I'll be coming for you anyway. Take on me, take on me, take me on, take on me, be gone in a day.
Benjamin, that was awesome. Thank you. Thank you.
You are so welcome.
We've been greatly entertained tonight.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, more entertainment coming from our awesome songwriter, singer-songwriter Lori Dameron.
That's right. That's right. We now have it's my pleasure to introduce Lori Dameron. Lori is a Billboard Magazine Award recipient, and she's been playing the guitar for nearly 50 years and singing for even longer. Between solo performances and performances with her band, she's performed for hundreds of venues in and out of Colorado over the past 25 years. She has a broad repertoire of folk, blues, and jazz, which allows her to perform in many different venues. She's produced 3 CDs, and currently she's working on her 4th and 5th. It's pretty impressive to work on 2 CDs at the same time. Lori is also an environmental activist, and in 2012, she started her project, Spaceship Earth, What Can I Do? Multimedia presentations, hoping to inspire folks to be better stewards to our beautiful planet Earth. Lori has been thrilled and enjoys to have been providing music for the ACL at home, monthly Zooms for this past year, along with Benjamin. One last tidbit, Lori would like you all to know that she is for hire, and she loves playing all the jazzy holiday tunes and traditional carols for holiday parties. So if you're interested, I'm sure we can get you hooked up with Lori to perform. So at this point, I want to just turn him over to you, Lori, for to close out our annual meeting.
Okay, thank you so much. And my gosh, it's been a great meeting. Everybody who shared everything, and that presentation that Elsa did was remarkable. And of course, Benjamin, I always enjoy you so much. So. Kind friends all gathered round. There's something I would say, that what brings us together here has blessed us all today. Love has made a circle that holds us all inside, where strangers are as family, loneliness can't hide. You must give yourself to love. Love is what you're after. Open up your hearts to the tears and laughter, and give yourself to love. Give yourself to love. I've walked these mountains in the rain. I've learned to love the wind. I've been up before the sunrise to watch the day begin. Always knew I'd find you, though I never did know how. But like sunshine on a cloudy day, you stand before me now. You must give yourself to love. Love is what you're after. Open up your hearts to the tears and laughter, and give yourself to love. Give yourself to love. Love is born in fire. It's planted like a seed. Love can't give you everything, but it gives you what you need. Love comes when you're ready. Love comes when you're afraid. It will be our greatest teacher, best friend you have made. You must give yourself to love. Love is what you're after. Open up your hearts to the tears and laughter, and give yourself to love. Give yourself to love. Give yourself to love. Give yourself to love. Oh So that's a beautiful song by Kate Wolf. She was an old folk singer that passed away too soon back in the early 70s. But I do that song for weddings, funerals, any occasion, but especially Mark mentioned my Spaceship Earth presentation. I open up with that song because it's all about loving this beautiful planet. And not to make this into an environmental session, but we just did have the COP26, and where the Greta Thunberg said that politicians just talked and talked and talk, and that's all they do is talk. And let's do some action, Greta says. So, and I agree. But anyway, this is one of the songs I wrote this for the 25th anniversary of Earth Day, which was in 1995. Earth Day started in 1970. And so I wanted to share this song with you tonight. It's called I Believe. This morning as I prayed for love, it's hard to believe in anything. Today the world just moves so fast, we've got no time to sing. Computer addiction, too much work and too much greed, no time to even think. Mobile phones distracting from a feeling that presence on the brink. What do we believe in? Is there something more precious than gold? What do we believe in? Is there something in our hearts that we hold? Uncaring corporations flaunting power and might. What's in their way they just erase? Raping rainforests, destroying life we can never replace. If we could see it with our eyes, I'm sure we'd feel it with our hearts. There's a stranglehold on the earth. All we need to do is believe and figure out what it's worth. What do we believe in? That the money God's taken our souls. I don't know about a lot of things, but some things I just know. I believe in something greater. I believe in love. I believe in all of nature and something beyond and above. I believe in majestic mountains and deserts and extraordinary things. I believe in everybody. Sometimes I even hear the angels sing. There's no words to describe the aching in my soul. I don't comprehend uncaring posture. The feeling is just so cold. Wide lack of gratitude for the vast and beautiful sky. Without the breath of precious air, we wouldn't even be alive. Of white lacy frost, and my spirit begins to lift. Depression's hard to fight, but when it's absent, life is such a gift. I see the sun shimmer on some new-grown leaves. What would life be like without trees? Embrace the earth and care about each other, I'm begging you please. What do we believe in? We believe that we're just victims of fate. Decide what you believe in. Strong faith has a lot of weight. I believe in something greater. I believe in love. I believe in all of nature and something beyond and above. I believe in majestic mountains and deserts and extraordinary things. I believe in everybody. Sometimes I even hear the angels sing. I believe. I believe. I believe. I believe in love. Yes, sirree, I do believe. So I was just going to do 3 songs, but I'm going to stick a short version of this in here because it fits with our seasons. Let's see. Because you're going to, the song I'm going to end it with is about our seasons going round and round. But anyway. The autumn leaves drift by my window. The autumn leaves of red and gold. I see your lips, the summer kisses, the sunburned hands I used to hold. Since you went away, the days grow long, and soon I'll hear old winter's song. But I miss you most, my darling, when autumn leaves begin to fall. When autumn leaves begin to fall. When autumn leaves begin to fall. Oh, such a beautiful song. So, speaking of our seasons, going round and round. Joni Mitchell said it well. Yesterday a child came out to wonder, caught a dragonfly inside a jar. Fearful when the sky was full of thunder, and tearful at the fall of a star. And the seasons, they go round and round, painted ponies go up and down. We're captive on the carousel of time. We can't return, we can only look behind from where we came. Hang round and round and round, circle. Then the child moved 10 times round the seasons, skated over 10 clear frozen streams. Words like when you're older must appease him, and promises of someday make up his dreams. And the seasons, they go round and round, painted ponies go up and down. We're captive on the carousel of time. We can't return, we can only look behind from where we came. Hang round and round and round the circle game. 16 springs and 16 summers gone now. Cartwheels turn to cartwheels through the town. Tell them take your time, 'cause it won't be long now before you drag your feet just to slow the circles down. And the seasons, they go round and round, painted ponies go up and down. We're captive on the carousel of time. We can't return, we can only look back from where we came. Hang round and round and round the circle game. So the years spin by and now the boy is 20. Though his dreams have lost a lot of grandeur coming true. But there'll be new days, there'll be better days, there'll be plenty new dreams before the last revolving year is through. And the seasons, they go round and round, painted ponies go up and down. We're captive on the carousel of time. We can't return, we can only look back where we came. Hang round and round and round the circle game. Hang round and round and round in a circle game.
Thank you so much, and thank you for letting me entertain this last year for At Home. It just is the highlight of my month, the third Tuesdays of the month, doing the At Home. It really is the highlight, and it's the only gig I have now through the winter, unless I can find if you know a restaurant that does like every Wednesday music or Friday happy hour, I would love to get a steady gig every week. But thanks again, and what a great organization, and let me just, Carolyn Damron, my mother, she used to work for, back then it was ARC, but anyway, thank you so much, and Karen, great job tonight.
Thank you so much, Lori. That was just lovely, lovely, lovely. Thank you. Thank you, Benjamin and Lori. I don't know about you, but that was just a lovely note to end on. Before we go, we have another prize to give away. So give me a second, and I am going to pick a name. The winner of our next basket, which is our relaxing basket, goes to Jennifer Oakes. You get a snuggle blanket, a puzzle, some yoga cards, a motivating meditative coloring book, a journal and pens, a mug and a book. So enjoy it, and congratulations to all our winners. And as we conclude, I just need to say thank you to a few people. You know, first of all, it was not an easy year. I think it was a tough year for everyone. We've all adjusted. We've all come to love this thing called Zoom. And, you know, if any team can get anything done, it's the ACL team. They are an amazing group. And without them, without the team, without the staff, without our amazing executive director, you know, we wouldn't be here today telling you all these wonderful things they do. They are truly an incredible group of people with a mission and a vision, and they stick to it and they get the work done. So thank you to all of them. Thank you to the board. It's been a great year, and I look forward to next year and having some new people on board the board. Next year, hopefully we'll be at 624. That'll be a lovely treat. Thank you to our guests and our entertainers, obviously added so much to the show tonight. And I need to call out someone who sweated the whole entire day, wondering if this was going to all come out as smoothly as it did. And Caitlin Looney is the girl behind the scenes, and she put her heart and soul into this evening, and creative and just fantastic. So thank you, Caitlin. And I want to just say happy, healthy holidays to all of you. And thank you so much for attending our ACL annual event. So thank you.